This stray dog used to live carefree on the streets, but all of a sudden, robots took over the city and kicked out the humans. Seeing this, the dog takes the responsibility of gathering all the pets to defeat the robots. This is Robo City, the most advanced place in the world. It is completely operated by robots and AI models. From driving cars to chasing criminals, everything is done by robots. This perfectly looking city hides some dark secrets like the homeless animals. Roger is one of them. He lives on the streets and hates almost everyone, especially the cats. His favorite hobby is teasing the robot sheriff, Bill. As Roger doesn't have a provider, he fulfills his hunger by stealing food, but no police officer ever succeeded in catching him. The city's most important monument is the magnificent Ferris wheel in the center, which is loved by everyone. However, Roger always gets negative vibes from the Ferris and every new technology introduced in the city. It seems like humans are becoming more and more dependent on robots, and that's alarming. As the night sets in and everyone goes to sleep, Roger starts his mission of getting free food. He knows how to distract the robots and sneak inside the luxury apartments. After getting to the kitchen, Roger carefully opens the fridge because the house pet, Belle the cat, is sleeping nearby. On seeing the tasty chicken, Roger's mouth starts to water. He tries to grab as many pieces as possible and accidentally drops one of them on the ground. Belle wakes up by the noise and gets disgusted by seeing a stray dog in her house. The owner returns as well, so Roger runs away to find another target. He reaches the supermarket and starts gathering all the things he wants. Suddenly, Bill, the sheriff, reaches there and starts chasing Roger. However, it's nothing new for Roger. He starts throwing random objects at Bill and escapes the supermarket. Afterwards, he casually walks to the old street where he lives with a few other homeless animals. Roger delivers some food to his fellows and proceeds to meet an old friend. It's a monkey named Beezer who often sneaks out of the zoo to enjoy the fresh air. Suddenly, Roger notices something moving in the trash can and goes to check it. A robot jumps out and tries to hug Roger. His name is Bob, and he's supposed to be a part of the robot pet line. However, the project was rejected and Bob was thrown away. Of course, Roger hates robots, so he asks Bob to leave, but the poor robot believes that he's also homeless. He was about to be destroyed, but Bob managed to escape the factory. The police kept chasing him, so he hid inside the trash. Bob really likes Roger and wants to be his friend, but Roger likes being alone. He ignores Bob and climbs up to his little house built on the roof of an old building. Life's been unfair to Roger. He has to face such difficulties while other animals in the city are enjoying luxurious lives. Their owners treat them like spoiled babies and provide them with more than a pet can ever wish for. There's even a special daycare for them, and it's called the Pamper Pets. This place provides all the self-care equipment from beauty treatments to gym. They even hold the Best Pet Awards, which is always given to a dog named Ronaldo. He takes extra care of himself to keep his owner happy. In exchange, the owner literally worships the ground Ronaldo walks on. This daycare and all the other places work so well just because of the highly skilled mayor, Frank Stone. Every morning in Robo City starts with a message from the mayor, but today's special. Frank is always aiming to make Robo City more unique and perfect. Therefore, he has planned something really big which he's going to be revealed in a few hours. Roger hears the announcement too, which reminds him of a past event. He is pulled out of thoughts by a loud noise. It's Bill who arrived with a giant tractor. Without showing any mercy, Bill destroys the building in which Roger lives. Poor dog stares at the sky helplessly, but Bob asks him to be positive. Roger is tired of such encouraging words because he is aware of the harsh reality. As he tries to run away, Bill reaches there and traps him. Luckily, Bob has a built-in laser that cuts off the trap. Seeing this, Bill calls out his new weapon, the mini-bots. They start chasing Roger, so Bob carries him on the back and speeds away. After a rough drive, they succeed in dodging the mini-bots, but Bill gets in their way. Bob comes in handy again and makes a hole in the wall to escape. They end up near the daycare, and Bob starts observing it really closely. He wants to be a pet owner too, and Roger is going to be his pet. Roger immediately refuses, but Bob puts a leash around his neck and drags him inside the daycare. All the pets are talking about beauty treatments and plastic surgeries, and Roger starts to feel nauseous. These pets are worse than Roger thought. Suddenly, the mayor appears on the news again to reveal his surprise for the citizens. Frank calls his city a perfect place which cannot compromise on a single error, and the citizens are full of errors. According to Frank, the humans in his city are imperfect and spoiled with pumped-up emotions, unlike the flawless robots he creates. Therefore, he has decided to kick out all the citizens. They are given an hour to pack their bags and leave. To prove that he is serious, Frank has prepared another surprise. As he says that, the majestic Ferris wheel breaks its ties and turns into a giant robot spider. That's why Roger always got bad vibes from the Ferris wheel. The robot spider starts wandering in the streets and forces all the citizens to leave as soon as possible. Some of the citizens find time to pick up their pets while others leave in a hurry. Now Roger is stuck with Bob and 4 pampered pets, whom he has to teach how to survive without their owner. Roger also feels that he's connected to these events somehow, and he must find out. Suddenly, the spider robot reaches the daycare to capture the pets, but one of them sacrifices itself to let others escape. Belle offers everyone to stay at her house, but she doesn't remember the path. Luckily, Roger knows it very well because he often sneaks in there to steal late-night snacks. As the streets are taken over by the robot spider, Roger chooses a shortcut that goes through the zoo. Frank is watching everything through the secret cameras, and the first thing he notices is Bob. He's the only robot with emotions, and that's why Frank doesn't like it at all. He calls his assistant Boris and orders him to destroy Bob as soon as possible. Poor Bob has no idea what's coming his way. He's busy enjoying time with his new friends. While walking through the zoo, different wild animals start teasing Roger and his mates, but Belle sarcastically responds to all of them. However, everyone gets scared after seeing the deadly tiger. He threatens everyone and also makes fun of Beezer's nose. Little does he know, Beezer can't handle a single comment about his nose. He gets really angry and starts beating up the tiger. Seeing this, Roger and others proceed towards the gate, but an old tarsier gets in their way. He's called Brian Longfinger, who is known for his intelligence. He warns the animals of the great danger coming their way. It all began many years ago. To build this city, the wetlands were drained, the forests were cleared and rivers dammed. Most of the wild animals were forced to migrate while some were locked in the zoo. This all was done to make a city where people can live carefree with their pets because the robots were built to do all the tasks. However, the citizens grew more and more selfish and spoiled. They also created lots of garbage that caused pollution in the neighboring areas. Frank Stone, the creator of this city, also began to change and pushed away all the people he loved. From a friendly guy, he turned into a monster that is ruling this whole city. Brian asks Roger to lead the other animals and find an escape. However, no one takes him seriously, and they head towards Belle's house. Belle thought that her owner must be waiting for him, but she left alone. Roger asks her to cheer up because the real heroes rise when they are alone. However, Belle thinks that Rover can never understand her because he has never been a pet. Roger agrees that he's a stray and survives by stealing food, but he was not always like this. He also had a warm bed and great food, and most importantly, a loving owner. Roger and his owner were inseparable. They spent all their spare time together playing. Then one day, Roger got lost in the crowd. He kept looking for his owner but didn't find a trace. Roger eventually accepted his fate and learned how to survive by himself. Luckily, the pets don't have to do anything like that because the robot maids are here for them. Little do they know, Frank can control any robot just with a click. He reprograms the maid and orders it to attack the pets. Seeing this, the pets get united and defeat the robot. As it is no more a safe place to live, the pets leave the building to find a new home. The guards start to chase them, so Bob helps the pets in getting on a train. Unfortunately, 2 of them are left behind. But instead of panicking, they get on the skateboard and escape the guards. Meanwhile, the pets on the train are monitored by Frank, who keeps increasing the speed. Eventually, the train loses control and falls off the tracks. The pets get stuck on top of the building where a single wrong step can take their lives. Ronaldo even sacrifices his beloved necklace gifted by his owner. As the guards and police are still after them, the pets get down from the train to look for a better place to hide. All of a sudden, the zoo animals reach there to avenge the humiliation the pets caused them. Luckily, Bob unlocks the supermarket gate, and all the pets run inside it. As there's no staff or humans, the pets can peacefully enjoy free food and games. They start with some tropical drinks and turn on the music. The pets forget all the differences they have and dance like there's no tomorrow. Afterward, they go to the sweets shop and eat as many candies as they want. They also visit the toy shop where Bob finds some cute dino robots. As soon as he steps closer, the dino sends his data to Frank and he reprograms them to attack. Luckily, the pets unite again and defeat the dinos in no time. But Frank has seen Bob and he's not going to rest until he catches Bob. He reprograms all the robots in the supermarket and sends them after Bob and the pets. Suddenly, the zoo animals reach there and confuse the robots. They forget their main task and start attacking the zoo animals. Bob and the pets take advantage of this situation and escape the supermarket. The pets celebrate their victory and feel proud of themselves. But Bob doesn't seem happy. He feels ashamed of messing with the dinos and triggering them to attack. Roger asks Bob to think positive like he always does, but Bob has figured out the reality. He's the one putting everyone in danger. The robots are not after the pets. They are after Bob because he's an imperfection that must be erased. Bob has decided to sacrifice himself to save his friends. Roger tries his best to stop Bob, but the brave little robot goes to the police by himself. Ronaldo tells everyone that Bob is taken to the huge destroying machine located outside the city. It chops down all the faulty robots into tiny pieces. If they don't rescue Bob in time, he will meet a tragic end. Moreover, Bob is a robot with emotions, so he's going to experience all the pain. Roger still remembers how Bob called them best friends, and he can't leave a friend like that. He prepares to go after Bob, but the other pets want to join them too. They didn't call themselves Pets United for nothing. Roger appreciates their concern, but together they will attract too much attention. It will be easier for Roger to sneak into the factory alone. He promises to return by the morning, but if he doesn't, the pets must leave this city by themselves. After Roger leaves, Brian appears out of nowhere and tells the pets about the robo-world that lies outside the city. It's a place which hides all the secrets of Frank Stone, but it's guarded by an army of robots. Brian knows a shortcut, but it goes through the stinky drainage. The pets hesitate for a moment, but then they realize that stinky drainage is not a big price for freedom. Meanwhile, in the robo-world, Frank is admiring his perfection while standing in front of the mirror. Suddenly, he takes off his coat and uncovers his face to reveal his true self. He's actually an AI robot who deceived Frank Stone to take his place. Frank had created the AI with so much love and taught him everything until the AI became smarter than him. Now Frank can only regret his decision of destroying nature to create this artificial city. The AI laughs at him and goes back to monitoring the city. He gets really happy when he sees that Bob has finally been arrested. The AI thinks that a robot with emotions is the worst invention because it is full of errors like humans. He orders Boris to show no mercy and throw Bob in the destruction machine called the Jaw. Bill wants to say something, but the AI calls him a piece of junk that should not come to his robo-world again. Poor Bill gets really upset and goes to the drainage where all the rejected robots live. The pets reach that spot too and get attacked by the old robots. Luckily, Bill stops the robots and reveals the truth. Their enemy is not the humans or pets, but the evil AI. He's a selfish ruler who doesn't care about the robots after fulfilling his requirements. Now Bill wants to rebel against his master and guard the pets. Meanwhile, the AI reaches the scrapyard and orders Boris to throw Bob towards the Jaw. Boris starts feeling sorry for his fellow robot, so AI completes the task by himself. Poor Bob gets stuck on the magnetic belt and dragged towards the burning Jaw. Roger has finally reached the scrapyard and he jumps on the belt. He tries his best to pick up Bob, but the metal robot is strongly attached to the magnetic belt. Bob asks Roger to give up, but he can never do that. Bob is everything Roger got, and he will not abandon his dear friend at any cost. The other pets reach there too and witness Roger and Bob heading towards the Jaw. Belle uses her ballerina skills to climb on the wires and reaches the machine. The other pets also jump on the belt and they try to forcefully stop the machine. Seeing them struggling like this, Boris gets angry and turns off the Jaw. The AI orders other robots to attack the pets, but Bill gets in the way. He tells everyone that they all will be discarded one day if they don't stand up for themselves. Their real enemy is their selfish master. The AI still doesn't give up and summons the robot spider. Belle is usually afraid of insects, but now it's time for her to get over the stupid fear. She steps forward and catches the spider's attention. Belle keeps distracting it and proceeds towards the Jaw. Her plan works, and the spider gets stuck on the magnetic belt. Belle jumps down in time while the spider gets eaten by the Jaw machine. Roger can't believe what he just saw. He doesn't hate cats anymore because sometimes they can be really cool. Belle also feels grateful for meeting Roger because he taught them how to survive without a human looking after all your needs. He made them independent and brave. However, Roger still needs to learn one more thing. Boris invites him inside the robo-world and takes him to the real Frank Stone. They immediately recognize each other and hug tightly. Frank never abandoned Roger and built a whole city so no one else has to lose their pet again. Moreover, Bob wasn't a mistake but the greatest invention. Unfortunately, Frank also made some mistakes, and the AI is one of them. It's time to get rid of him. Boris holds on the AI and Bob pulls out the intelligence chip. Afterward, he is thrown in the recycling machine to make a useful but harmless robot. The next morning, Frank opens the city gate and calls back all the citizens. He also lets the animals play in the natural habitat. After a few days, the pets gather again in Belle's house because they deserve a celebration party for sure. You may get independent by living alone, but it can't beat the strength that lies in unity.